Welcome back to the best podcast in the world.
Woo!
What episode is this, Arthur?
Number 13.
Lucky number 13, so this can only go well. Do you know where we are in the podcast charts right now?
Yeah, we're
Number one.
Yep. That's not true. No. We have been in the top number one. That's not true either.
We've been in the top number one.
We've been in the top 10 for a month now, so shout out everyone who's rating us on...
Yeah, shout out everyone who's rating us.
Spotify and stuff.
Rating us up.
Speaking of people who rate us and people who don't, KSI.
Yeah, what is that all about, huh?
Do you want to tell the...
So last night I was getting loads of DMs saying, oh, ignore what JJ's saying. I think you're really funny. And I was thinking, well, what is everyone talking about? I go on YouTube. I realized Sidemen Reacts had uploaded a video an hour ago where they just react to my funniest moments or just my funniest TikToks. JJ, to be fair, he started the video badly already because he started the video like, another guy, I don't know who is or whatever. I've been in one of his videos. He was there. And then just proceeds to straight face the whole video. Didn't laugh at a single thing.
He really wasn't happy with you.
He was not rating it. But hey, whatever.
So how did you feel when you were playing and he just wasn't laughing at any? He almost seemed annoyed to be watching you.
Yeah, I think that's his humour. That's him being funny.
By cooking
Some people like that, yeah. I didn't like that.
It's because you've got such like a dry sense of humour. You have to be in the right mindset to enjoy it.
The thing is, the TikToks are completely different to what I do on YouTube. It's not for everyone. And I didn't think it would resonate with JJ at all anyway. But it's a bit of a weird thing to post. I will say that. So this is me calling all of the sidemen out for drama, and now we can put you in the title and the thumbnail. Isn't that right?
Well, we've kind of ruined it because we were saying this when we actually have a guest next. People aren't going to know because we've had KSI and Harry in the thumbnail. I actually, before we started, once again, I've won a victory over the woke mob again. I've been allowed a mug.
Why do you
and this one's Chunks and Philly.
And I said don't.
And Bach was like, you are not putting Chunks in the thumbnail.
As soon as I saw the mug, I was like, we're not putting the mug up there. And he was no, I've got something it's for the podcast. I've got a bit for the podcast. I was like, you are not putting Chunks and Philly in the thumbnail. Because you could just tell what this guy was planning to do. And we spoke to our friends about this and they were like, yeah, it's probably not a good idea because if you ever do manage to get one of these people on the pod and they're in the thumbnail, no one's going to believe us. So you're basically eliminating all chances of our views.
So given you've clicked on this video and Chunks is in the thumbnail, I'm sorry, he's not going to be
on
there.
He's not in the thumbnail.
No, he won't be. No, he won't be this.
He's not in the thumbnail.
We need to relax on that bit for a while.
We?
Yeah. We don't make the thumbnails ourselves, to be fair.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the Sidemen React situation.
Did you see my comment?
I did, justice for Bach.
I put justice for Bach.
The comments were very mixed. I think KSI's got like a sort of an army of a following. So a lot of them were like, yeah, I'm with JJ, this guy isn't funny. Fair enough. But then there was also a lot defending me. So fair enough. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. But no, I didn't take it personally, don't worry. And I made a reaction video to it, which I'll post in a couple of days because I can only benefit from that, right?
Nice.
So little what's the word? Don't know.
Teaser?
No. I'm just saying that's me benefiting from a situation. What would you call that? You don't know, do you?
No. Exploit?
Yeah, a little
exploitation.
Yeah, a little exploitation.
Nice.
From me.
Speaking of sidemen, I actually had a really, probably one of the weirdest experiences of my life yesterday. I don't know if I can give too much away.
What did they do to you?
I don't know if it's the Sidemen Sunny that came out before or after. But we were in this place and it just was one of those, you know, some videos are like really long throughout the day and you can kind of be yourselves a bit more. Like when we did Sidemen Hunted, we were very much ourselves. We were a bit weird, but had a lot of fun and stuff. Sometimes when they do a shoot and it's like an hour or two long and they get a lot of influences and stuff in, like I was there with George, Arthur, Cole Anderson, Danny Aarons. So everyone's kind of like trying to do something a bit extreme and funny from the camera, in front of the camera. And sometimes it comes across well and sometimes it doesn't hit. And we genuinely just straight up waterboarded Chris MD, which is a violation of not only national but international law and several conventions.
Why? What, for the camera? Or?
He was doing a thing. I don't know whether I'm guessing it's going to be out a couple of days after, so I don't want to give away any spoilers. But Chris ended up doing this thing where he was lying on a table and we had to eat stuff off him.
This was off
And
camera.
for some reason, I just thought it'd be really funny because there was a bottle of water and we were all drunk. They got us so drunk.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I just put a blanket over his face and just started pouring water on it. And so did George and Arthur. And we all just stood around. I mean, to be fair, he wasn't strapped down. He could have just turned his head and he could breathe. And we stopped to allow him to breathe and stuff.
This genuinely sounds insane.
But for a brief period of time, I was just straight up waterboarding Chris. It was pretty wild.
That's
But now
pretty interesting.
I wish I had done it to JJ instead to get revenge for you. Next time I get the chance.
Yeah.
No, because no, they're never going to get either of us on the video.
Well,
if you do a video calling him out,
I'm supposed to.
and then I do a video, and then I have my podcast saying next time I get the chance, I'm going to waterboard him. They're going to be like, "Right, well, you ain't come back on."
No, I'm waterboarding him. I'm supposed to be in the video Tuesday. I can say that. That's not a spoiler, right?
What is it?
I can't say that.
Oh yeah, no.
But
yeah, you can say you're due to be in a video.
Yeah. So I'll get revenge.
Yeah.
I'm plotting something. I'm not really. I can't say that. That's going to sound like I'm going to kill him. That's just...
Actually, we probably should have started with this. This should have been the first update because everyone would have clicked on and been like, "Oh, this looks different." Usually we have pink behind us, and now we have light blue
I bet no one noticed.
because we cannot fix one of us being yellow or Batch's hands being too red or him having bolognese sauce around his mouth.
Or you looking like you have jaundice.
Yeah, everyone
your
keeps saying
face,
that.
your body, your bum.
Yeah. Why my bum?
All of it.
You've never seen that.
No, I haven't. I actually haven't seen your bum.
Good. Oh God, why have you made it so weird already?
Yet. Someone clip
That
that.
ain't never gonna happen.
Okay. You've seen
But yeah,
mine.
we pushed down the first domino to getting a real set upgrade today.
This is not the first domino.
No, this isn't the
Guys,
first.
we've changed the colour of the light.
We spoke to a really epic set designer.
Yeah, we did actually.
Who's helped
We
sort
spoke
of
to
set
John.
up all the what's good and the Cyclops pod and that kind of stuff. And we're going to make it more space station-y, sciencey. Bit
Maybe.
of biology on my side, bit of physics on yours.
Hey, don't go promising stuff that might not happen.
No, because then we're going to be held accountable.
Guys, we're going to do something. Although I don't think you care, do you really?
No, they don't
Let
care.
us know if you do care.
I don't think people watch podcasts that much. I feel like it's something you put on in the background whilst you do other things.
We have a lot more Spotify listeners than I thought.
Do we?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
I can't give reasons why.
Because it's so long, you don't really sit there and just watch the two people. But I guess when we bring stuff up on screens, people will look in, or maybe people do watch.
Hey, but you're not so bad to look at. So maybe they are looking at
Thanks.
us.
He wants me to say you two, but that ain't going to happen.
Hey, you're not so bad to look at, right?
Although you're...
Despite what everyone says.
Don't say that. Although you're good to look at for now, because that might change, right? So we did our day 2 of the Red Bull build.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we've built this epic rocket.
It looks so good.
Space. It actually is unbelievably cool. But we've built ourselves a little cubby hole to sit in. I'm spooning Batch. I'm the big spoon from
Big
behind.
spoon, little bro.
He's driving and I pull the brakes. He steers and I pull the brakes. But the thing is, we cut out the thing and it genuinely stops about 3 inches from Batch's nose.
It's like here.
Probably about a foot from a normal person's nose if they were sat in the seat. But for Batch.
Right. I was at a shoot earlier and half of the stuff was about how big my nose is. So my face is going to get rearranged at this Red Bull event if we just break. So
I'm in charge of it.
to just make me headbutt the
But
thing.
no, when we inevitably crash into a wall and flip upside down, which is going to happen, you're genuinely just chinning a big plank of wood.
Yeah, because I don't know if you've looked at the course. I watched through the course. Our thing is not fitting down there.
Is it not?
I know it. So the regulation has got to be 2 meters wide. Ours was originally 3 meters wide. We cut some of the wings off.
Yeah.
So we would fit. We only cut enough off to be regulation width.
Yeah.
You know. So we're the exact same width as the course. So I don't even think we're gonna get very. I think it's gonna be really anticlimactic. We're not gonna crash. We're just gonna go and stop because our wings are touching the edges.
The problem is the length, isn't it? Because we should be under 3.5 meters and we're 4.5.
But if you look at the width, ours is so much bigger than anything that's I've seen go down.
Really?
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But at least we get to pick a cool walkout song.
Oh, yeah. We actually have picked a really cool one, but we need to find out if we can license it.
Yeah, even if we can't, I want it.
For the
It's
vlog.
so
Just
cool.
lose all revenue on the vlog.
Yeah, I don't care. It's so cool. Or maybe that can just be in the Patreon. Oh no, because it's going to go up. Anyway, unseen bits on Patreon. Maybe you'll get the walkout clip if it's not licensable, and the walkout won't be in the main video.
Yeah, we've had some cool stuff on Patreon. We've just hit 250 members as well. Shout out you guys.
Shout out Worms.
But yeah, Batch figured out that there's a way that we can make a group chat on Patreon. With Batch and I and all of the Patreon supporters. And because we were speaking about everyone having brainworms in the last episode, they've called themselves the Worms.
The Worms.
And they actually just straight up bully us for not interacting. Like, we'll go 24 hours without saying anything.
I interact more.
You do.
He does more on the editing side of things. I'm more, I'm interacting with the people.
Yeah, he's
I'm
the social
more the
worm.
people's person. He's actually, well, you say to me on the daily, I wish they would just shut up. I
did not say that.
Yeah, he says he hates you guys.
No, I do go into the group chat to be like, what do you guys want us to talk about in the next episode? What do you like? What do you want us to change? All that kind of stuff. So they help us a lot.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they can't. Well, they can tell from the way we write who's messaging, but
Really
it always
weird.
says the message is from Batch and Arthur.
Yeah, they get it every single time. They know exactly who's typing.
Yeah. I think if there's words with more than 2 syllables, they know it's me.
No, I think they know if it's a lovable character, if it's lovable words,
Yeah.
it's me.
Yeah.
And if it sounds like a droid,
Yeah. If it's an AI generated one.
yeah, he only uses AI to do the conversation. It's not even him doing it, it's his assistant who does the conversations.
No, it is me. Because, yeah, we do. It is useful, but...
He'll go, oh, hello. Hello, everybody. It's been a nice day today, hasn't it? And then he won't reply to any other responses.
Yeah, that's
Whereas
true.
I'm way more engaged. We're running all sorts of campaigns at the moment. I've actually got some questions from them for later.
Oh, nice.
So
Cool.
Join the Patreon, join the group chat, and you can ask us some questions. We chat in there as well, and you can ask us some questions for future podcasts.
Yeah, we have the submission form, so you can always write to our submission whether you're a Patreon or not. There tends to be a bit of a priority thing. But if there's a good submission from anyone, we tend to take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be doing the Red Bull thing like a couple of days after this goes out. So this technically could be our last ever podcast episode because we could just die.
Yeah, there's a chance of that. I'm predicting. Should we do a prediction now? How we think it's going to go? I predict it's going to be an embarrassing, anticlimactic ending. We're going to come to a small stop and everyone's going to be like, oh, they didn't crash or they didn't even make it to the end. That's rubbish.
I think it's going to go so well. I think we're going to pelt it down that thing because we have literally designed our rocket after the NASA space shuttle.
NASA. We have literally designed it after the NASA space rocket.
NASA.
So where are we going to fly down? What do we?
Which has a terminal velocity, a maximum velocity, sorry, of 17,500 miles an hour. And if we go that fast, we're definitely winning.
We're not going to go that fast. He just wanted to flex that knowledge.
It's good knowledge.
Boy, what the hell, boy?
It's an interesting fact.
What? Oh my God. They won't let me have a soundboard, guys.
Yeah, we're not letting him have a soundboard.
Free me. Let me have a soundboard. No one in this room will let me have a soundboard.
Wouldn't it be the most annoying thing ever if he was doing that, but it was like actual sound effects?
He won't let me have a soundboard.
It's so much
Laura won't
funnier
let me have a
listening to you go, bruh, than it is actually hearing that stupid MP3.
Guys, drop in the comments if you agree with me. I can cut up his own voice and use it against him. I could have you saying...
You are not doing that much work for this.
Yeah, I am.
To be fair, there were some really funny moments in the horror gaming video.
Exactly, and if it's something I can use against you, I will absolutely put the work in for it.
Did you like our first cozy gaming night?
Yeah.
Should we do it again?
I liked the video. It was really funny. It's my favourite video we've ever done.
That was a really funny video. Again, like I said this in the last podcast, but you were so funny in the background and I was so locked in.
Oh my God.
It's because it was a puzzle game and we had to you had to look out and find the little moons everywhere. So my eyes, you can see them just darting around the screen being like, and Bach is there making like fantastic Mr. Fox references, telling jokes.
It's genuinely so funny if you watch it because one, I'm in the background and I'm like, half the quality he is because the camera's not on focus on me, so I look like a hologram and all the comments are like, Batch is just Arthur's imaginary friend because also he's ignoring me the whole video. So I just look like his little brother who's not allowed to play the game but he's let me in his room
like
to
I've
watch.
unplugged your controller.
Yes, I'm there making references and looking at him and he's not responding.
Yeah.
The whole way through, half an hour of pure that.
It is fun like doing there aren't that many single player games that it works for, but that one really does because it was a puzzle one.
I think escape room style games does work.
Yeah, but we need to do some more multiplayer ones.
But watching it back, I realised I really contributed nothing other than morale.
Yeah, you didn't.
If you had
I don't
heard
think
me-
you didn't spot anything.
I actually spotted in the very beginning a little Easter egg.
What?
The skeleton.
That's true. And you actually spotted all the astronauts were staring at us.
Did I?
Yeah.
I think you did.
No, you were like,
I
they're
said
all looking
all of
at
them
us.
are.
Yeah.
I think you would have figured that out.
Yeah,
without
probably
me.
would. But it was genuinely terrifying.
I figured out the rat had red eyes.
And we were quite drunk.
We weren't drunk. We had
were
one
leathered.
beer.
I had a whole pint and I was buzzing.
You were not drunk or buzzing.
No, I was buzzing.
Buzzing.
Because why were we?
I was buzzing.
Oh, it's because we went out after. We used that as a kind of prees.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, Arthur's the type of guy to have his friend come around and make him sit and watch me
Watch
play a
him play.
game.
Bang on.
And I was like, we had played multiplayer games the whole night. We had been playing Fortnite the whole night.
Not true. And he wouldn't let me touch the guns on
That
Fortnite.
is not true.
It is. You didn't give me an inventory. You said you have to carry all the med kits. I'm carrying the guns, and you have to drive me around.
You said in one of the earlier episodes, and the OGs will remember, I say the OGs as if we're not like only episode 12 in, but you said you're a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
And so you love taking all the health
I
things.
said, "Oh, please, can I just pick up this pistol?" And you said, "No."
That's not true.
Enough.
I got 5 kills and you got 4, but we had been playing multiplayer all the time. And I was like,
Yeah.
what's something we can do for half an hour where like it will dead on finish and we can just go and it's like fun and engaging. And I was like, that's the one. Because 2-player as well is a bit hard.
Minecraft.
Yeah, but we couldn't be in the same room for that, I don't think. I think that's better if we both do it online.
Or if we did it in the same room with different consoles.
Oh, yeah. Like you could play on your laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that we have to do that.
But
We can do
anyway,
it
more
online.
cozy gaming nights coming because you guys love that video and it's actually performing pretty well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's above everything that isn't a group video or a vlog.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Although I've done a lot of those lately.
It was an interesting test for us to see if gaming videos like that would work.
Yeah. Cozy video gaming nights.
Cozy video
They
gaming
are fun.
nights.
I wanted to
cozy
do one
video gaming
tonight.
nights.
I was like, Batch, are you doing anything after? Should
Can't
we,
make
should
it,
we film
bro.
it up? And he's like, no.
No.
He was like,
we're doing too much romantical shit. We got to stop.
We-
Sometimes you got to put it to an end.
yeah, that night when we had the sleepover, we went out to a really fancy sushi restaurant.
He took me to get sushi.
We walked along the river.
Yeah. Oh my God. And you lit a candle as soon as we got into your house.
Yeah, you said that in the last episode.
I know, but it just adds to it. Now I realise how romantical that was.
Yeah, it was a bit too romantic. I think people are going to get jealous of our friendship.
Yeah.
Or
Stop
more.
making it out like it's more because people are going to run with that.
That's funny. Actually, our producer was asking why there aren't more edits of us in a romantic way.
In a romantic way. No, don't say that because they're going to do it now.
You can do it if you want. Batch was searching Wattpad for Wattpad stories of us earlier as well. And he was
No,
like,
specifically
they need
him.
to get writing.
No, don't write Wattpad stories of us. You can write Wattpad stories of this guy. Just don't put me
There's
in it.
like a 10-hour one of me, you know. There's like someone wrote a novel. It's insane.
No, because if you get people involved writing Wattpads on the podcast, no one in this room is safe.
That's true.
There's going to be a
Oh,
Laura.
Laura will make her debut in the Wattpad. Anyway,
Don't speak it into existence.
yeah, that would just be insane. There are some bizarre pages on the internet. I mean, we've spoken about WikiFeet and stuff like that.
Are you on it? I'm not on it.
Yeah, I'm on it. I don't think
You
the
on
feet
it?
have been out enough.
My feet are out all the time.
Oh yeah, there you go. Chip's Sri Lanka video got so much because obviously we had them out a lot.
Wait, that's
Gross.
us together.
Quite highly rated. Oh yeah.
That's literally our feet together.
Anyway, I feel like we've been delving on this weird side of the internet too long. So I've got some more hot takes. People really liked the hot take
takes.
from last week about
That
the
breath
weird
was
AI.
hot, boy.
Yeah, it's hot cake because I actually just had a chili jam pork sausage roll.
Yeah, I can smell it.
Yeah, we had one last week about AI and how people aren't going to use beer; they're going to use AI to socialize in future.
Yeah.
I've got one. This one came from a guy on TikTok, and I was surprised that all the comments were in agreement. It was a guy called Demetrius Fields, and he basically did this long TikTok saying that doing any accent is acceptable. And he was like, why is it that like a Western accent, like if you do a Scottish or an Irish accent, it's fine. But if you did something like an Indian accent or Chinese accent, it's unacceptable. And he was like, I think all should be. I was wondering what your take on that would be.
I think it's a difficult one because someone said to me, "Oh, you can if you're white, you can do any white accent. That's acceptable." But then you can do a Jamaican accent, and that's fine. No one cares if you do a Jamaican accent. So I don't know. I just think there's been a lot of racism in the UK to aim towards Chinese people and Indian people. So accents were used to mock them for a long time, and so
yeah, context is definitely important.
Now,
like on why you're doing it. I think that was one of the main things that people in the comments were saying was that, you know, why are you doing it in the first place? Why do you need to? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like I'm sure they were like, if you'd ask anyone from an Indian background, if they grew up in the UK with an Indian accent, they've probably had some form of like bullying or something related where they might have mocked them to some degree, and so you can't then do an accent like that because it's just
yeah. Do you remember when Hank,
context wise,
is it Hank Azaria? Is that his name? Who does
sure.
all the Simpsons voices, and he does a poo, and he was like, I'm no longer going to do a poo, and there were loads of people going, oh, this is like, you know, we shouldn't this is too woke, you shouldn't not do it. And then loads of South Asian people were like, oh, his whole thank you, come again has been used to bully me like throughout school. So I guess it's so much harder for us because we don't have the lived experience to be like, oh, we never really suffered any of the consequences of it.
It's like the accents aren't ever done in a good way. They're done in like a stereotypical way.
That's true, actually. I can't really think of a time where I'm like, oh, I should be allowed to do that. And then would you actually...
Yeah, exactly.
But the guy was like, it's almost like the other way around. Like, he was almost making it out as if it was offensive to say that doing an Indian accent is wrong, because it's like saying that, I don't know, it's almost like making a mockery of it is by itself. It's like rather than going, oh, this is just an accent that people have, it's making it into more of a thing. More of a thing,
yeah.
But especially given how TikTok can be, like TikTok can shut people down so quickly for stuff. And the internet loves to cancel people. I was just so surprised. Maybe he deletes comments, but he did this whole thing and I was watching it and I was like, I bet he's getting cooked in the comments. He was like, I should be allowed to do an Indian accent or a Chinese accent and it shouldn't be inherently an offensive thing unless I'm mocking them. And all the comments were like, oh, context is like so important. If the context, if you're not doing it in a mocking way, it should be fine.
I do think context is important. I also just think, I mean, in an ideal world, you should be able to do any accent because there shouldn't be any racism or stereotypes.
Hot take.
But there is. So
there shouldn't be racism. It's Patch's hot take of the day.
Yeah, my hot take is racism is bad.
Do you think accents will slowly go away as the internet grows and everyone mingles more?
I think they'll just adapt. I don't think they'll go away.
You just don't have the regional dialect. Like if everyone starts listening to everyone speaking the same way.
Yeah. Does
it all blend into one?
There is a chance that happens. I just don't know because the accents are so different. They've adapted over thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
It takes a lot.
So like, have you got friends who they're like, I guess it's because they moved to the UK, but like friends who have immigrant parents with strong accents.
Yeah.
And then their kids, obviously born in the UK, have no accent. Well, it's not a different accent to us.
It's about who you're brought up and what language you're speaking, and just that's yeah. I mean, I've got friends who like their parents are Australian. They lived in Australia, moved over here at like 10 years old, and their accent now is kind of like English, but there's like a little twang. So I just think it really depends. I don't know. I don't think it'll all blend into one.
We had a mate at school whose parents, he lived in a hotel, so I don't think he spent much time with his parents. He sort of had his own wing and would get catered for and stuff, and used to just binge watch TV, including South Park, and he just had an American accent.
Really?
Yeah, just a British guy.
Actually,
he's like, God damn it, like that kind
No, he didn't speak like that.
He didn't quite speak like that. Arthur, but get out of my room, Mom. I'm in the hotel.
No, he did not.
God damn it.
That's the worst accent to pick up.
He had that kind of twang.
You're kidding me, right?
You're joking. God damn it.
Worst podcast ever.
But he genuinely had one of those accents because he's kind of brought up with the English American TV.
Have you heard Lewis Hamilton's accent?
No.
Because he's like all over the place. His accent isn't like just English anymore. It's like sometimes it's just American, sometimes it's like English, sometimes it's like it's really interesting.
That's kind of like Cal Freezy, because you know Cal Freezy was just brought up from across the globe.
Yeah.
Like he lived in Vietnam, Russia, like all across the place. So Scotland. So he's not got like a specific accent.
Yeah, he's got a really
So
interesting
if you
accent.
ask someone to do a Cal Freezy accent, you have to really think about it.
Can you do one now?
Brother.
Oh, that's quite good.
Kind of like that, you know.
Oh, it was fun. Fraser was making fun of us the other day when we were doing the Red Bull builds. He found a meme and he said, "Guys, this is you," because I wouldn't say our brains have rotted away, but we are kind of brain rot a little bit.
Yeah, we have brain rot humor. Which
The meme was like, what is it like? Oh, I'm listening to this song. It's like, bro's really listening to a song in 2024.
Yeah.
and then it was something else, and I was like, bro's song maxing right now. It was like language like that.
Yeah.
That's our accent now.
Yeah, it is. That's what
Brain
Chip's like, but like 90% of the time.
Yeah, Chip's crazy.
Whereas we do really mix in. Last podcast was a real thinker. Like we
You didn't scratch your head just then? Huh?
It's my. Huh? We had a lot. This one's a bit more chill. Actually, we've got a reincarnation thing coming up because I was like, we've got to add something intelligent to this.
I'm gonna reincarnate Arthur, but first I have to kill you
What?
live on the podcast.
That would be a good segment. Patreon only.
Yeah, if you want to see me kill him, Patreon.
No, but
Shall we actually do that?
last week we had all sorts of science and philosophy on, whereas this week's a bit more chill. But then someone in the Patreon chat was like, "What are your thoughts on reincarnation?" And there was a really cool thing, but we'll get there eventually. We have another hot take, and this one actually came from one like he calls one Lara.
What? How come I don't know about this?
This is a Lara hot take. You probably did because she told Chunks and Philly, who come on. We share production company and studio, and we actually share our Lara. That is everyone said, is that the Lara from the Chunks and Philly podcast?
Oh, did people say that? I didn't see that.
And we were like, yes, it is.
She's got a different persona for both podcasts, so.
Yeah, she always says like this is her favorite podcast, so she might act a bit different.
Yeah, she always says that all the time.
Yeah.
Non-stop. She's starstruck when we come in. She gets starstruck. It's crazy.
But this is a bit philosophical. Chunks and Philly debated briefly. There is no such thing as a truly selfless action.
Is this the hot take?
Yeah.
What's Lara's hot take on that?
So Lara thinks that if you euthanize someone, like let's say your granddad was really ill and he wanted to get euthanized, and you were like the only person that could do it. If you were to do it, that would be a truly selfless action. What do you think about that?
I actually agree with the whole like euthanization thing. If someone's really suffering and they really want to die, I feel like that should be their decision.
Yeah, you should have ultimate choice over what happens to you in your life.
If you say to someone, "Can you do this for me?" and they do it for you, that is selfless.
Is it selfless though?
Because you don't want them to die.
But even then, so I think it ties in with. I think some philosophers do think that true altruism does exist. This idea that you can truly be, but I don't know. I struggle with it. Even with that scenario, for example, do you not think it makes you feel better in some ways? Going like, I'm giving them what they wanted. I feel good for having given them their choice. Like, I feel better that they're at peace now, or that they've,
I think
they no longer have to suffer, or.
But there's going to be like an overwhelming feeling of like, I don't want them to die.
Yeah, but it's not truly selfless if there is some benefit to you. I think that's the point. Like, is there anything that just doesn't benefit you at all? Because I think laying your grandfather to rest, you'd be like, he's at peace now. This is what he wanted. There's probably still some good feelings, even though it's the sad feelings are harder.
I don't think so.
Do you not think?
No, because I don't think you can think of a situation and break down loads of different feelings. I think you've got to, if you just merge the feelings, overall, this is terrible for you. You feel terrible about this.
But the hot take isn't that there are some things that are more beneficial to others than they are for you. Because there are loads of examples that you could say, oh, this sucked a bit more. But the whole point in this one is that it's truly selfless, that you gain nothing from it at all.
I think there can be a situation in that sense where you do gain nothing at all.
Can you think of anything?
I think in the euthanization example there can be.
But do you not think that gaining the idea that they've got what they wanted and they've gained inner peace? And
yeah, but what if they said to
no
you
longer
before?
suffering?
What if they said to you beforehand, "I want you to pull the plug, but I'm not going to find inner peace."
But why would they be asking you to pull the plug?
Hey, that's just the scenario at hand. I won't find inner peace. And they list off everything that means you can't get any benefit from that. So and you still pull the plug.
No, because you're still giving them their wish. They're still asking you to.
Yeah, but that's for them. That's selfless. Giving someone a wish isn't for you.
But you're still feeling satisfied and you're just going like, I'm giving them what I wish. Like I'm a good person for doing what they want, or I'm allowing them to exercise their free will to decide. Yeah,
but I don't think that would ever be at the forefront of your mind. Like that is.
But we're not saying that.
I think that's a technicality. I think
that's the whole point in the question, though.
Yeah, but I think
there is the technicality
it
truly
selfless.
Technicality.
It should be feeling for something like that. For something that is selfless. Okay, let's take.
But we're not saying just generally selfless. I think everyone accepts that there are selfless things and that there are things that can hurt you more than they benefit you, but you do them anyway. I think everyone accepts that those things exist.
Yeah, you say
this
truly
is truly selfless. This is why it's such a hot debate. Like, is there anything you could possibly do? Because even that, I think you just go.
So what are you saying?
Giving them what they
from
want,
that, you gain giving them what they want.
Yeah, giving them what they want. Maybe you feel better as a person and just go, I'm a good person because even though I don't want this, I'm giving them exactly what they've asked for. I'm granting them their wish. They're granting them their bodily autonomy. It hurts me, but there's still some benefit.
I think that comes into like a debate of do we have like, I don't know, because like you could debate that like you don't have free will.
Yeah, I don't think we have free will, but that's probably a topic for another time.
But it feels like the same sort of debate. It's like something that's bigger than you. Selflessness, true selflessness is bigger than you, something that you can't ever achieve then.
So you're now in agreement that there is no such thing.
Well, if you're saying it in a sense where true selflessness means you gain nothing, but if I try and create a situation where you do gain nothing, you will always find something to gain.
So you're now saying there's always something to gain. So you're now on the
technicality. But what's the gain is that you're giving them something. Okay, but what if you don't feel like you're giving them what they really want then? What if
for example,
there's doubt in your mind? You're like, I don't know if they really wanted that. Therefore, you're not really giving them what they wanted.
Wait,
and so then it's not truly
you're just
selfless.
killing someone and they don't even know that they want to be killed.
No, but what? Okay,
so you're just going, I don't know if they want this, but I'm going to kill them anyway.
They said, I do want to go, but there's doubt in your mind that they mean it.
But you're still granting them their bodily autonomy. You're still going, I'm listening to what you're telling me you want, regardless of whether you actually do want it.
But what if they're saying, I'm not sure if I want it? And
then why would you kill them?
Okay,
if they're like, I don't know if your nan was like, I don't know if you want me, if I want you to pull the plug, and you just yank it out and go, I just wanted to avoid doing something truly selfless.
No.
I wanted to do
in that
something
scenario though, if they say, I don't know if I want it,
then you're not going to do it. You're not going to pull the plug.
But what if you do? That's truly selfless. Then you don't gain anything.
That's selfish. Why would you possibly pull the plug on someone?
But it's selfless as well.
What do you mean it's selfless?
It's equally selfless as it is selfish.
But why would you pull the plug?
There is no reason to pull the plug. It's a truly selfless act. You don't gain anything from pulling that plug.
So
because you've not given them what they wanted. They said, I don't know what I want.
Is me now tapping that mug truly selfless? Because I did it because I wanted to do it because I wanted to prove a point.
Exactly. So you saying, they're pulling it out now because they wanted to do it?
Yeah, because they wanted to.
But what if they didn't want to prove a point? They just did it because they don't have free will.
But they did it because they did it because they wanted to do it. Like you can't pull the plug without wanting to pull the plug.
They didn't want to do it.
No, you're the one pulling
I didn't want to do it. I don't have free will. So
but you did it.
Selfless. If you don't have free will, everything is truly selfless because you are not choosing to do something, and therefore you're not gaining from doing it.
I don't think free will necessarily doesn't mean you're not choosing. It's just that you were always going to choose.
Yeah, so it's something more powerful than you. It's determined. You're not deciding to do that then. If you don't have free will, none of the decisions are really yours. It was always going to happen.
I know we're going to get a lot of comments being like,
So
let's
it's
speak
truly
about free
selfless.
will. This is something we should get like Alex O'Connor or someone on for.
I don't believe in. We both don't believe.
Neither
in
of us believe in free will, and
though.
we should probably go into that in depth in a podcast episode.
Because
that
I
would
was
be really
always going to
interesting.
do that.
Yeah, you're always going to do it. There's really quite a lot of people think as well that there's a sort of a really interesting evolutionary psychology side to this as well. This idea that nothing is ever truly altruistic because it's always in your benefit as an individual and a species to either help your kin. So, you know, if one of my friends is really hungry and I've got 3 oranges, you know, giving him one benefits me because I'm creating a society in which when I have no food, someone will give it to me.
Yeah, I would say I would agree with that.
So evolution wise, obviously,
But what if they didn't want it?
back when we were, you know, apes on the savannah, like helping out your fellow man was beneficial because, you know, your society is more likely to survive if everyone's helping each other out, and also forming alliances with others, you know, other tribes and stuff, just being like, you know what, I'm going to actually, you know, I could take your tribe's meal. You've left it behind whilst you went and hunted for another one, but I'm not going to because I want to form an alliance, and now we're not going to go to war and we'll both thrive on the savannah.
What about in a situation where someone controls you to do something?
Then
Technically,
what?
you've committed the action, but you didn't want to commit the action, so you don't gain anything from the action.
That's true.
Truly
But
selfless
then are you
act.
acting?
It's an act.
Is that really an act, or are you just admitting to...
Technicality, I guess.
Yeah, is it?
That one.
I guess it's a tough one.
If I get you to pull the plug,
Yeah, if you grab my hand, but then I wouldn't say I acted and pulled the plug. I wouldn't say I committed an act. Well, maybe you would. Maybe some would say that.
yeah, I guess that's up to interpretation.
But that would be one. If you said that I was acting in your control, that I
yeah,
was still acting, then I guess that would be
truly selfless act.
because I would not be
Maybe.
doing it with any intention at all.
Exactly. I don't know. It requires more thought. We need to. Why don't we have a pondering session at some point?
Yeah, I mean,
We'll
that
get to
isn't that bro just said mid podcast whilst we're talking about something like we should talk about this.
We
at some
should
point.
start a podcast.
We should have this discussion in depth one time and actually make it interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, I just want to sit and think without speaking, and then that's not going to be entertaining on the podcast.
It just is hard because almost every time you can think of like, oh, you know, just giving a homeless person a sandwich.
Sandwich.
It's like, oh, are you doing that to look good or feel good? Like, does it, you know, when they sit and eat that sandwich and they're full for lunch, you probably feel better about yourself and you feel good, and it's nice to see someone else doing well. And you know, I think most people's morality is kind of built on empathy, and you know, the idea that you don't want to do to other people what you don't want them to do to you, and vice versa. You do unto others as you want done to yourself. And you know, you go, if I was in that position, I'd want to be fed. So here, like, you know, I can understand how that would feel, and you feel better about yourself when you do good things for people.
Yeah, I do think if you were ever to try and think whether a truly selfless act actually exists or not, you really have to bend situations for it to be like me saying, oh, what if a guy forces you to do it? But even then, it could be debated that is not a truly selfless act. So in general and in daily life and in anything you ever do, it could be selfless but not truly selfless. Because like you say with giving the homeless man a sandwich example, that's not truly selfless. Because a part of you is going to be thinking in your head, oh, I look quite good in front of these people giving this man a sandwich. Because you probably couldn't help it. Probably can't help thinking that.
Yeah, true. It is an interesting
You love to
one.
bring these thought experiments in, don't you?
Yeah, it is difficult because I guess so much comes down to like words and exactly what words mean, and it's quite subjective and arbitrary, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. This is like Theseus' ship all over again.
I'm curious what you guys think. Leave a little note in the comments.
It's gonna be a long old comment.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a long ass.
we're getting a
comment.
lot of takes. I think this could be a really interesting one.
Yeah. Give us all your takes.
Yup,
We'll see what people think.
definitely.
What else you got cooking?
So they were the 2 hot takes. And when I was looking at the TikTok that was speaking about accents, it got me thinking,
which doesn't happen often.
About pronunciation of things, because accents are just people pronouncing words differently.
Amen.
And I was wondering, how many things can you pronounce or do you pronounce correctly? There are a lot of brands and stuff that people pronounce incorrectly. One of them, the last one, actually really annoyed me. When I looked at this segment and they were like, this is what you actually are supposed to pronounce our brand like. I was like, no one's doing that, but we'll go on to
No one's doing all that, boy.
this
if I had a soundboard,
if I had a soundboard, a sound boy,
if I had a soundboard,
just a little boy that you go,
I could have pressed
can you
that.
make the bra sound? And he's just, bruh.
Just a boy runs on and goes, bruh.
With the deep voice.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Bruh.
With a really compressed sound audio. Here's one. Well, here's a trivia question you might have heard before. Oh no, because if I say it, then it makes it. I actually can't ask you the question without pronouncing it.
So
okay.
What's
the tallest mountain on Earth? This should really not be taking you this long.
Mount Everest. Everest.
You've got the right mountain, but that's not how you pronounce it. Do you know how to pronounce it properly?
Everest.
No. What?
Mount Everest.
Better.
Everest.
No.
Everest.
You're saying the exact same way 3 times and you're annoying me now.
Everest.
Okay, you just done it again, but slower.
Mount Everest.
It's Mount Everest.
Mount Everest, which is what I said.
Yeah.
No way is Mount Everest. No one's saying that.
Named after Sir George Everest, and that's how he used to pronounce his name.
Why does everyone say Everest?
So,
Everest.
but can you imagine being in a conversation being like, oh yeah, I want to climb Mount Everest one day.
Yeah, that's a
They'd be like,
situation.
oh, piss off.
Yeah, exactly. It's a situation where you can't pronounce something right because you'll just look like a knobhead.
Yeah, you're such a dude.
So yeah,
Actually, it's Everest.
Wait, what's Mount Everest? I've only ever. Oh, you meant Everest.
You fool.
Oh, you fell for the. Oh, it's right. So many people make that stupid mistake
Bless
because
you.
they don't know the history of the mountain. But actually,
That's
oh,
him in actual conversations, by the way.
I want to throw you off Mount Everest, you insufferable swine. That's me talking to the snob, not you. Although you're on thin ice.
What have I done?
Speaking of thin ice, more like 3 stripes. What's the brand?
What the hell was that for a segue?
That was a good segue, right?
No, you're on thin ice. Why? What have I done? Speaking of thin ice, more like 3 stripes. You didn't even say why I'm on thin ice.
That was top 3 podcast segues of the
Of all
podcast,
time.
I think.
Yeah, sure.
Can you just answer the question? What's the brand with the 3 stripes?
I say Adidas. A lot of people say Adidas.
You're correct.
Adidas.
Yeah. The guy who made it was
German
called
brother.
Adi Dassler. Adolf Dassler, but Adi
And his
was
brother
his nickname.
created Puma.
Yeah. Good one. Come on. Brilliant. Their rivals, the ones with the swoosh.
I say Nike.
You say it wrong.
It's Nike.
It's
isn't it?
Nike.
Named after the
Greek
god
of
messenger.
victory,
Yeah,
I believe.
that's right.
Success.
So it really is Nike.
Yeah, it's
that's a real
Nike.
split between people. Like if you say Nike, no one's going to be like, "What are you doing?" If you say Nike, no one's going to be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, if you said Nike Air Forces, it doesn't sound right. Oh,
That's true, Nike Air Force. But if someone did say, "Oh, you got Nikes on," I wouldn't be like, "Why are you saying Nike?" Because a lot
Yeah.
of people. Same with Adidas.
You heard the Mac Miller song, Nike's on my feet, make the cipher complete. No?
No.
Good song. Anyway, R.I.P. Mac Miller, great musician, one of the great rappers.
If you're watching this, we loved your music.
He could be, who knows?
This is heavenly shit.
Maybe he's been reincarnated. Maybe we'll actually, that's coming up
We're
later.
getting on that later.
It's coming. What do you edit on? Premiere Pro?
Yeah, why?
What's the company that do that in Photoshop?
Adobe?
Yep. Some people call that Adobe, but it really
That's
annoys me.
gross. Adobe.
Yeah, but it's Adobe.
Just hopping on Adobe.
This one I'm going to have to spell out because it looks like an orange segment. Do you know which one? Begins with an E.
Terry Chocolate Orange.
ELLESSEE.
Oh.
This one people pronounce wrong all the
Okay.
time.
Now, I would say LSA. I say LSE.
That's not even
No,
in
no,
the.
no, no.
It's
Can I
not
say-
this.
Can I say LSE,
Yeah.
but I would assume the correct pronunciation would be LSA?
It's neither.
It's not a lease.
It's not that either.
Yeah.
It's LS.
That's disgusting. It's
LS.
Italian, isn't it, LS?
I don't know. You're the Italian boy. You should know. This one's complicated. I don't even know how to pronounce this right. They wrote it phonetically and it's tough. You know, if you get a modem from this company sometimes, or Wi-Fi and stuff, they do a lot of tech. Huawei.
Hawaii.
See, I usually say
Hawaii.
Huawei. But Huawei is wrong, apparently.
Hawaii.
It's Huawei.
Best podcast moment ever.
Badge is just getting ready for the Euros. He turns into a real football. You know the football match day vlog that I did where there was literally no football involved? It was just match day. I had to delete so much footage of him being a yob. Just sort of like...
That is a lie.
Just I don't know, just tearing up, just graffitiing on walls.
Threw that kid in the crowd.
Yeah. He pushed a policeman off his bike.
Yeah, off the horse.
Off a horse, sorry.
Still on the horse, yeah.
And then rode the horse.
Yeah,
went for a swim in the road. It was chaotic.
Mental, mate. It was mental.
Go watch it and smash a like on that video.
Don't.
So that's Huawei.
What?
Huawei,
It
yeah.
begins with a H.
Yeah, there's no, but apparently it starts with a W. That's what they say.
I'm hold them to that.
Oh, what's the car brand? This is a classic.
Hyundai or
The sports car brand begins with a P. P-O-R.
Porsche. Porsche.
Yeah, it's Porsche. Porsche.
I say Porsche still.
I still say
Still say
Porsche.
Porsche. I prefer to,
Porsche.
and it's my choice.
Porsche. What? Is that Italian?
That was funny when you just said Red Bull. we were on the way to Red Bull. The driver came to pick us up. We got in the back and he said, "Where are you going?" And I just went, "Red Bull," like that. Exactly.
I said
like
we're going to first. I went, we're going to Red Bull HQ. Red Bull. And he was like,
did that, and he was like, huh.
actually no, he laughed.
"Yeah, he did
found that
laugh." He went,
hilarious.
but it's too
from-
right. If he didn't laugh, it would have been very
It
awkward.
would have. It's from Yes Man. If you've seen Yes Man,
Because you went full blown, just Red Bull
at like
in a closed car.
8:20 a.m.
Yeah, it was really early.
It was way too early for
Red
that.
Bull, and
But
I felt
that's,
sick.
That's what happens in Yes Man. He's like, I stay up all night drinking Red Bull. You ever had Red Bull? Red Bull. Red Bull. That's what happens.
I didn't know that.
Very
No,
Jim
no
Carrey
one in that
moment.
car got that reference, by the way.
Yeah. But like I said, I like doing things that I find funny. And if people
Yeah.
find them weird and awkward, it's even funnier.
And I almost threw up on that car journey, and that did not help.
Yeah, because you were very hungover. Oh,
Yeah.
the famous hazelnut chocolate spread.
Nutella.
Ooh, that's not how you pronounce it.
Nutella.
It's Nutella. But again, if you're like, I can have a Nutella chocolate.
But that's
spread,
like pronouncing
people are like,
any
"Oh."
Italian thing correctly.
I think there were a lot that I didn't put in because I was like, that's just doing them in their
Yeah. It's like-
local accent. Like, that's just an Italian brand pronounced Italianly.
yeah, exactly. Like you say pizza, not put on an accent
Pizza.
to say pizza.
Yeah, see, that's fine. Whereas
Whereas if
if we did a more...
did a Chinese dish or an Indian dish in one of those accents.
might get
But
cancelled.
that is a no-go.
Yeah.
We're not mad about that. Let's make that clear. We're not... Arthur's not here saying, damn, I can't say
Damn the
chow mein.
woke crowd. I really want to do that accent. No, it's a hot take.
Yeah.
I actually didn't give my opinion on it, I don't think.
I think you did. I think because you said you were surprised everyone was agreeing with him in the
That's
comments.
true. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, this one, NICCE, the East London brand.
Oh, Nice.
It's not Nice.
Everyone says Nice, though.
Do they? They don't.
Niche.
Nope.
Niche.
Closer.
Nisse.
Nope.
Nikke.
Nope.
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche. It's close.
No one's saying that, boy.
NICCE.
No
You
one's
see
saying
it in
I thought
London
it
all
was
the time
French.
because it's an East London brand.
Didn't know that. That was really
Nietzsche.
popular at one point.
I think that's based on an Italian word or place.
That was so
Nietzsche.
popular. Oh, it must be
Nietzsche.
with double C. Yeah, it
Yeah,
would be
double C being a
yeah,
CH.
Nietzsche.
is-
That
Yep.
makes sense. Okay.
Interesting. We've got two more. This one's weird. SAMSUNG, the classic mobile and telecommunications brand.
Samsung. That's how you say it.
See, see, that's fine.
I said
technically.
Samsung. Yeah, I'm
but
not doing a Japanese accent if that's what you think.
It sounded like you did.
You can do a Japanese accent though. You're allowed. Like Takeshi Castle, you
That's
can
what-
imitate that. I
but
think.
that's what people are
I'm
saying.
not going to do it just in case.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a why. Why can you not? Or why can you? Or should you be allowed to?
Samsung.
No.
If you don't do it in a Japanese accent,
You said?
Samsung. Samsung.
Say the last bit.
Samsung. Sung.
Sung. So you're saying Samsung.
I'm saying Samsung.
It's apparently Samsung.
No,
Even
he
though
didn't.
it's
No, he didn't.
even though it's UNG. Apparently, it's Samsung. That's what they've said. You're supposed to pronounce it Samsung.
Okay, don't just change the.
But again, if you said that, I'm like,
know
what?
then.
Oh yeah, I've got a Samsung. Samsung.
Oh, no, you don't.
But why are they spelling it with a U if it's an O? Anyway, but this one infuriated me.
Oh, really?
Zara.
It's not Zara. What is it?
It's not Zara.
Lara. Zara.
It's not Zara.
Zara.
No, not Zara.
Zorro.
It's so far off.
Sarah.
Apparently, it's Tsada.
Not bothered.
Zara themselves came out and said it's pronounced phonetically Tsah, Tsa, Da, D-A-H. So it's not Zara, it's Tsada. But if I was like, oh, let's go into the Tsada store, you'd be like, what are you talking about?
I think you're having a stroke.
You'd slap me.
But is it a foreign company? Like that can't be
Zara.
That must be not an English
Laura,
word.
can you quickly search up Zara and find out where it's from? Yeah, because that sounds...
It can't be an English word.
That sounds East Asian to me.
Yeah.
Tsada. The head office is in Galatia. Click on it. Click on the Zara retail thing.
Oh my God, the glacials are sinking.
A Spanish multinational fashion design.
See, that's strange that you wouldn't pronounce it like that then, would you?
Oh my God. Zara. That's what they mean. Zara.
Oh.
Sí, es Zara.
Chile.
Chile. Vamos a Chile este verano.
Zara.
We were randomly at a club the other day that just played Spanish music and it was so fun.
Cool. That's the coolest place I've ever been.
It was.
I think everyone agreed that was so cool.
Yeah.
And he was just shouting. Because the guys who were up there singing, it was like, it wasn't a mariachi band, but it was far off.
It was a local, it was definitely everyone there was Spanish apart from us.
Yeah, like
everyone.
Latin American. And they were just shouting out like Colombia, and people were going, sí. And then they were going, Argentina, and all of this. And no one said Chile. And then he goes, Chile.
Like 5 dudes started going, Chile, and applauding and going, Chile.
Yeah, and the guys up there were like, Chile. I don't know why he did it, but he did it.
¿De dónde eres? Chile.
Is that allowed?
Yeah, see, that's fine.
Well,
right?
Leave it up to the audience.
Spanish people white? You're Italian. Are you white?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. Someone edit that.
But yeah, Zara. That makes so much more sense.
That's crazy.
They're just spelling the ra, like D-A-H.
Okay, I got one for you.
Zara.
I've got one for you.
Yeah, go on.
How do you pronounce these nuts?
Oh my God.
Someone clip that.
Oh my God.
Oh, look how excited he was. He was like, oh, go on. I can't wait.
This one is a shower thought / hot take.
How do you pronounce that? This is actually a good one.
Napapiri.
Do you not say Napapidgery?
Why would I pronounce the J?
It's a choice.
It's Nepalese, right?
Shall we find out what it actually is?
Wait,
no,
why
it's
the
not.
hell is
It's
it?
literally got a Norwegian flag on the
Does
thing.
it?
Yeah, everywhere.
Oh, it's Scandinavian.
Keep speaking while I search the pronunciation. I'm
Well,
get it to
I've got
play
one
out
that's
loud.
kind of a hot take and kind of a shower thought.
Go on then.
Percentage tipping makes no sense because a customer buying a more expensive meal has nothing to do with the service. So for those of you who don't know, I was a food runner for 4 years. I used to work in events catering. When I was at uni and I'd come back home to Jersey, I'd work for Niche Events. Fantastic catering
It's
company.
pronounced Nietzsche.
Got him. But yeah, I'd get tipped and I'd be like, oh, if I do a fancier wedding or a fancier horse racing thing, I'd get tipped
money.
more and I'd be like, I'm still just serving you a meal or your beer. Why am I earning 50 with you and 5 with you?
It
doesn't make sense. I actually think tipping in general,
It's stupid.
obliged tipping is so dumb.
I agree.
And that's what everyone in the replies was saying. They were like, tipping in general is the weirdest thing ever.
It is. I don't know why it's a thing. I'll still do it because it's like you're a dick if you. Well,
Yeah,
you're not
You'd be
a dick if you don't.
In the
tip.
UK, at the bottom of the bill, it's like 12.5% service charge has been added to this
Yeah,
bill
if you
automatically.
took it off.
If you were like, I'm taking that off.
I don't think you're a dick if you take that off. Not everyone can afford to tip 12.5% service charge.
That's kind of true.
So I'm not saying you're a dick if you don't tip, but I would feel harsh if I don't tip.
It's just
It's a
weird.
personal
It's just weird
feeling.
for like restaurants to be like, we're not going to tip our waiting staff that much. So can you guys who are eating just pay their
Yeah, I know.
wages? Like it's
I
like
I didn't
Why are we
tip when
doing
I
it
couldn't afford
directly?
it.
Did you not?
No, I didn't. If I couldn't afford what? Yeah, if I couldn't afford to tip, I wouldn't tip.
A lot of people would say if you can't afford to tip, don't eat out though.
I would say shut up.
I had a really weird one though, because I was on a Chris MD pub golf and I played rock, paper, scissors with Harry, and the loser had to buy the winner Air Force Ones. Yeah, just lost 114 quid or 125 quid or whatever on the day. It was awful.
It was actually quite bad.
And the guy went, do you want to add a 20% tip or something? And I was like, no. I've just bought trainers off you.
Actually?
Yeah, trainer store in London.
Did he know who you were? Or one of you? Did he spot one of you and be like...
Maybe.
It might have been like he's trying his luck or a bit of a joke.
Maybe, that could be it. But I fear that it was commonplace in the place to just be like...
That's odd.
Tip.
That's really odd.
It just is a bizarre... And you know in the US, they have an even weirder system. So with us,
Oh, yeah.
we have the normal living wage, minimum wage, where people have to earn a certain amount and tips are just on top of that. So it's what, like 11 quid 50 in London?
Yeah.
Or is it 13.50 in...
I don't know.
London,
actually,
11.50 around, but it's around there. It obviously changes from time to time. It gets increased a fair amount each year. Actually, Laura, can you search up what London living wage is?
Do you want to know in the meantime how that's pronounced?
Oh yeah, go on.
Napapiri.
Napapiri.
And it's Finnish, not Norwegian, so now I look stupid.
Right. So the London living wage, yeah, £13.15. So
You got that bang on, did you?
I can't remember. Did I say 13?
Might have. There's
I
a
went
chance
11,
he did.
I knew it was something like that. It was either 11.50 or 13.15. But yeah, it was probably 11 when I first came to London.
But that's not minimum wage, right?
Yes.
So there's minimum and there's living, right? Or no?
Well, I think the London living wage is the minimum wage now. Is that what they've done?
I'm not sure.
But anyway, either way, it's a decent amount. Like, you know, if you're working like that's a fine amount where if you don't earn tips, I mean, not exactly like it's not gonna
13.15 an hour.
You know, it's still at the end of the year, not you know, cost of living's tough these days and stuff. But in America, the minimum wage, if you're waiting staff, is something like £2.15.
Yeah.
Lara, can you pull that up? They do have a thing where
disgusting.
If tips don't make you up to like a minimum wage of something
they bring
like
it up, do they?
Of at 13, then the employer has to bring it up.
Okay,
so it's sort of, but that means that like a cafe is paying their waiting staff like $2 an hour, and they're just relying on tips to bring it up to the £13.
Yeah, I think that's so dumb. I saw that in
crazy.
A Gordon Ramsay Kitchen Nightmares thing because he was like, "What? You're getting paid $2 an hour?"
Yeah,
he was really confused by it. And it's too right. Oh, that's it because the restaurant was keeping the tips for themselves, weren't even giving it to the people, I think.
But then in that case, they'd be legally obliged to bring it up to the minimum, which will be like whatever. I think it changes from state to state.
So this says $7.25 an hour, which is like
but that's covered non-exempt employees. That's not what we're talking about.
But even that alone is like half our living wage.
Yeah. Can you do the waiting staff one, Lara?
Waiting staff, they really do get paid niche out there.
Yeah, it's $2.13, so I was pretty much bang on.
And federal minimum wage is $7.25. Oh, so that's the cash wages combined with the tips to reach the federal minimum wage of.
So if you're working at a place on $2.13 an hour and you haven't been tipped, then the company has to pay you up to the rest.
That's just crazy.
But still, if I'm a cafe, I'm like, this staff costs nothing because realistically, the tips will probably bring you up there.
That works in the business's favor so much.
Probably why they do it. They're obviously quite.
You could afford so many people.
Being on pro, yeah, it would cost you nothing to hire an extra food runner.
8 hours, you can have how much dollars?
For a bit under $20.
$16.
That is mental.
Yeah, that is insane. 8 hours work, $16.
Yeah,
that's going to cost a company.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
1850-ish.
I hate that sort of thing when the company saves money at the expense of the consumer.
Yeah,
because all of your income's already taxed, and then you have to pay for a company's employee, basically.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Annoying.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The government has to balance being good for business and being good for the people, and they always get it wrong.
Yeah,
the balance is never right.
It's never right.
They really couldn't do much worse than they're currently doing. Come on.
It's a broad moment.
So what do you think? Percentage? So well, this one more specifically on. So I think we're both agreed that tipping generally is a bit of a weird one.
Yes, absolutely.
But percentage tipping, yeah, because do you ever go have like a really fancy dinner and you're like, that dinner's like 300 quid, so this 12% tip is like 40 quid, And it's like, I have only seen this waiter like 2 or 3 times, and they've just earned 40 quid on top of what they were already earning.
I think the thing is, percentage tipping does make sense, but it doesn't.
Why
Because
does it?
It makes sense in one establishment, as in you serve 2 people, you get tipped less. You serve an 8-person table, you get tipped more. It's more work. Do you see what I'm saying? So 8-person table, they're paying, let's say, £300, £400, whatever.
Yeah.
You're going to get more money because you're waiting on 8 people as opposed to 4 different tables of 2 people.
But shouldn't it be per person then? It should just be like standard $5 tip per person. Because realistically, when she's waiting on those 8 people, that she's doing just as much work if she gives them a $3 plate of fries, or whether she gives them $100 steak.
Yeah, but I think that's why the percentage system is. Yeah, okay. So you're saying,
If I'm
price
thinking
of
back
food.
to when I was a food
sure.
runner, if I'm there like, if I hand someone a plate of mashed potatoes and they give me a £1 tip,
Yeah.
or I hand them the most expensive steak ever and they give me £100 tip, I've still only just brought them their plate of food.
I think that's just the simplest way to make it work, though, because you couldn't really do like a $5 tip, £5 tip per head, because then it's like, what if 2 people are just sharing one meal? What if a kid's eating? Do you do a £5 tip for them? Not really, but you're serving them just as much.
This is why you should just pay for the stuff you ordered.
Yeah.
And the companies should just pay their staff enough.
Their staff enough money. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Because any other thing you wouldn't take it.
No, and
Can you imagine Lara just, guys, tip us on the way out.
Don't give her any ideas.
She's had too many ideas.
She just had her bonus because we just hit 30,000 subscribers. I gave them both. Show them.
She gave us, I've eaten it already, but Bach gave me and Lara a Frutella.
Which I picked up.
Because Bach actually takes all the money for these podcasts. He actually kind of holds Lara and I against our will.
That's true. That's actually not, it's the other way around. It's actually the other way around. He's got all the money.
Yeah.
I don't have any of it. I've not seen any of it yet.
That is actually true. I actually get all the AdSense at the moment.
Literally true, guys.
But I've spent it all, sadly.
I'm doing all of this for free. And I have to travel in as well. You don't.
That's true.
So I'm just here in spirit.
We need to get a company so you can get a company card.
No.
So that we can bill it.
We are companies anyway. Bill ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're getting paid for it.
Are you ready to move on to reincarnation?
What, you're going to kill me? Yes, I'm ready.
I've got a really weird segment that I don't know how this is going to go down.
Do it. What? Wait, what do you mean you don't know? Oh, this. Okay, so this is the segment you're saying could be illegal or is illegal, but is funny. So I think he's going to kill me. I actually do think he's going to kill me. What is this? What's going on?
I have. So when I was young, actually, so when we had Chris on the episode, I was saying we used to have these conversations all the time. I think I was about 16 or 17, and I stayed at Chris's house for a sleepover. I think it was like after a football match or before one, because he used to live next to the pitch. And we were talking philosophy and stuff. And I pulled up this thing and I read it and I was like, this is amazing. And it's called The Egg by Andy Weir. You ever heard of it?
No. I've heard of an egg. I often eat eggs and stuff like that. But
And so this is actually... By the way, do you ever eat an egg and like halfway through you're like, oh.
Grossed out, yeah.
Yeah, you're
You've got to
grossed
do it
out. You've seen that
quickly.
trending at the moment.
Do you do that?
Yeah,
same,
a lot. I'm eating scrambled eggs and
good
I'm
to
like, oh, this is actually really weird.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
We're eating a chicken.
Got to get it quickly down.
chicken-
Ketchup helps.
Chicken butt.
Actually, can I give you a fun fact?
What?
It's chicken, period. Not a butt. Dumbass. Also, you know the yolk? People think, oh, the yolk, that was going to turn into a chicken.
Yep.
It wasn't. That's what the baby chicken would have eaten.
Mm.
You see the little blood cells in there sometimes? Oh, it's
Yeah, the
getting
little
gross
red
now.
thing.
That was just a blood cell. It's going to become chicken.
Yeah. Anyway, The Egg by Andy Weir. So for this bit,
Andy, we are what? What are we
so
doing?
he wrote this short story on something called The Egg. And I've basically trimmed it down a little bit. I've trimmed out some of the sentences that are a bit duplicated. I've trimmed out all the descriptive stuff like, I said amazingly, and I paused for a long second to think.
So you're going to read me a whole story?
So I've just got a script, and I want you to play the clueless person, and I'm going to play God. And so I think this
let's do it the other way around. It's more realistic.
I think this could technically be stealing his, is it performance of copyrighted works? under the CDPA, that's the Copyright
No,
Designs and
it's
Patents Act of
not.
1988. But that's why I've changed it loads. So I've changed it enough, I think. And we're reviewing it. So I think there's an exception under section 30 or 31.
And it wouldn't be illegal anyway. Just get
which is
copyrighted.
for criticism or review, which is what we're doing now.
Anyway,
And it's transformative. Anyway,
it's promo.
so I'm going to ask you to take out your phone and we're going to read the script sentence by sentence.
Wait,
and then
do I need the Notion out?
Yeah, you need the Notion out.
This boy and his Notion.
And
oh
then
my
afterwards, we will discuss what we think of it.
God. Notion is a man's best friend, eh?
All right, so you start, you read the first line and I'll reply and we'll go from there.
What? What happened? Where am I?
This is going to be such a long day if you're weird. Just do it relatively normally.
What? What happened? Okay, all
We're
right,
not doing this like an anime
This is
comic
all
book.
staying in.
Because this is really deep. This is reincarnation, so you've got to respect people's beliefs here.
Don't make me feel... fine. What? What happened? Where am I?
You died.
There was a truck and it was skidding.
Yep.
Skibbity toilet. I died?
Yeah, but don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies.
Except for me and you. What is this place? Is this the afterlife?
More or less.
Are you God?
You could say that.
My kids and my wife.
What about them?
Will they be all right?
That's what I like to see. You just died and your main concern is for your family. That's good stuff right there. They'll be fine.
Oh, so what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something? I'm American now, by the way.
Neither. You'll be reincarnated.
Ah, so the Hindus were right.
In some ways.
So what's the point then? When do I get reborn? No, I fucked it up. Let's restart the whole thing. When I get reborn, I'll just be a blank slate, right? A baby. So all my experiences and everything I did in my life won't matter.
Not so. You have within you all the knowledge and experiences of all your past lives. You just don't remember them right now.
How many times have I been sorry, I can't read very well. How many times have I been reincarnated then?
Oh, lots and lots. As in to lots and lots of different lives. This time around, you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 540 AD.
Wait. What? You're sending me back in time?
Well, I guess technically, time as you know it only exists in your universe. Things are different where I come from.
Where you come from?
Yeah, I come from somewhere else. And there are others like me. I know you want to know what it's like there, but honestly, you wouldn't understand.
Oh. But wait, if I get reincarnated to other places in time, I could have interacted with myself at some point.
Sure, happens all the time. And with both lives only aware of their own lifespan, you don't even know it's happening.
So what's the point of it all?
Seriously? You're asking me the meaning of life? Isn't that a little stereotypical?
Well, it's a reasonable question.
The meaning of life, the reason I made this whole universe, is for you to mature.
You mean mankind? You want us to mature?
No, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each new life, you grow and mature and become a larger and greater intellect.
Just me? What about everyone else?
There is no one else. In this universe, there's just you and me.
But all the people on Earth?
All you. Different incarnations of you.
Wait, I'm everyone? I'm every human being who ever lived?
Or who will ever live, yes.
I'm Abraham Lincoln?
And you're the man who shot him too.
I can't say that name. I'm Leona Lewis?
And
you said appalled?
And you're the millions he killed.
They'll get that. I'm Jesus?
And you're everyone who follows him. Every time you victimize someone, you are victimizing yourself. Every act of kindness you've done to yourself. Every happy and sad moment ever experienced by any human was or will be experienced by you.
Why? Why do all this?
Because someday you'll become like me. Because that's what you are. You're one of my kind. You're my child.
Whoa, you mean I'm a god?
No, not yet. You're a fetus.
Harsh.
You're still growing. Once you've lived every human life throughout all of time, you will have grown enough to be born.
So the whole universe, it's just
an egg. Now, it's time for you to move on to your next life. So that answers what came first, the chicken or the egg? It was the egg all along.
That was too intimate, the ending. We looked each other in the eyes to finish it.
But isn't that... I love the idea that we could be...
A god.
The same entity. You are so arrogant.
No, that's where it's going for him, guys.
But that we could be every conscious entity, and every time we've inflicted suffering upon another, every time you tease someone at school or cut someone off or cut in front of someone in line... You know, you were doing that to yourself, and every time you've given a man a sandwich who was hungry on the streets, or tipped someone higher than you should have tipped them, or you know, kissed someone and made their day, you were making your own day. I think it's such a nice way to live. It's like the ultimate empathy, because not only is it the idea that you would do unto others what you would want them to do unto you, it's genuinely like, not only would I want someone to do this to me, but I'm going to experience it someday.
So, oh yeah, of course. So there is one consciousness spread throughout every Does that apply to animals as well?
It could do. I mean, obviously in that one's about humans, but I think it's... Well, it kind of is.
I don't think it would make sense if it wasn't including animals.
Yeah, because they've got consciousness too. Well, I mean, especially given we all evolved from Luca.
Luca, we miss you.
The last universal common ancestor.
We miss you. What happens if Luca invites us around to the cookout? At some time, all the family round to the cookout.
That's every living organism on Earth.
Ever. That's going to be crazy.
But isn't that so cool? Just like every time you've read about someone horrible or someone amazing, it was always you. And every time, it just makes you think like, you know, next time I get the chance to, I'm just going to be as nice as possible to everyone. Or I'm going to minimize everyone else's suffering as much as possible.
I think I do that anyway.
Most of the time, but I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
Do you think I'm not nice to you?
You are, but I don't think you maximize how nice you are to everyone all the time.
I did give you both, everyone in this room, I gave a gift for hitting 30,000 subs. I didn't get a gift.
I think there's a line and it's really difficult because like technically we could both do so much more.
Yeah,
like I like to think that we're both good people. We are nice to people. We're very conscious of it, but you know, we could give all money we make from this podcast to people in awful conditions, and you know the amount that they'd be happier would be more than us. And I used to think that when I was going to qualify as a lawyer, I was like, when I make this much money, you know, do I feel bad the fact that I'm going to want a nicer house and eat nicer food? And it's kind of like, you know, do we kind of have a duty to kind of, because you know the extra couple £100 a month rent for a nicer place might make you a little bit happier. But that money could house many homeless people.
Yeah.
And the sort of net happiness would go up way higher with that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tough because everyone draws the line somewhere.
That is true.
I like to think we're both relatively nice. And I don't know how much charity stuff you do, but I do quite a lot of charity stuff. But I'm nowhere near as charitable as I could be. It's kind of difficult one to be aware of.
I think the only one who's got it right is Mr. Beast. Because he started Mr. Beast Philanthropy.
Maybe we need a batch on Arthur Philanthropy.
Yeah. If we want to become the kindest people, we need a philanthropy page. Maybe we start a whole podcast on philanthropy.
Is that truly selfless? Oh, it's come full circle.
That's the best thing you've ever said. Thank you.
But do you think there could be a chance of reincarnation? You're a physics man, even from a physics point of view, although I guess our consciousnesses aren't linked.
I don't think so, because I don't think you could take a consciousness and put it into... You could take my brain and put it in Arthur's body, and that would be me. Yeah. But without that physical
So I'd just look this good, but be less handsome. That would suck.
Yeah.
No, wait, not be less handsome.
Oh,
be less funny.
Shit. You just got hit with it.
I would look like this, but be less funny, is what I meant to say. With your brain in my body.
That's a really unkind thing to say, actually. And if you're trying to be a good person, you should stop doing that.
No, because I'm actually trying to maximize happiness in the world, and I know that everyone that laughed at that got more happiness than you got sadness from it.
No, but wait.
Just like when you told everyone I had a peanut allergy.
Okay, but...
Because that hurt me deeply.
But now look at everyone's reaction when they realise that it really affected me.
They're literally all commenting, haha, lol, there's a laugh, crying laughter emoji. It's a bit boomery, but... Lara just laughed as well. So we've got two people laughing in this room compared with what? No.
I'm trying to cry and I can't concentrate with you.
Don't cry.
talking all the time.
Save those tears for another day.
Save those.
Great. No, you're going to
tears
copyright
for
claim. You're going to copyright claim
another
on our video.
That's not going to copyright claim the video. You're Delulu. Now,
But we are. The point with the physics was not that necessarily that the consciousnesses are tied. My point was that we are all the universe just experiencing itself.
that's absolutely true.
We are all just a bunch
But
of
we are
matter
not.
and stardust.
I don't think we're all. I don't think we all. I don't believe in reincarnation. Is what I'm trying to say.
No.
I don't think I believe in it.
I really like that thought,
With
though.
an understanding
It's
of
a nice.
physics.
You know how we often say, "Oh, we don't believe in things unless there's good reason, but some things it's nice to just hedge your bets, like with your lucky number."
Exactly.
I think that's a nice one to think in the back of my mind, that even though
There's
I go,
no harm in believing stuff like that.
I've not got sufficient evidence to believe in reincarnation, but maybe in the back of my mind it would help me
It sounds nice.
and those around me, regardless of whether or not it is true, to think that it might be true. Because it
Yeah.
might just change. It might just be the difference between me going, you know what, I'm going to buy a slightly nicer sandwich for that man outside.
Sandwich.
Because one day it could be me out there that's cold in his exact shoes, not even like in his position or in his
But
shoes
that is
metaphorically,
you.
but literally me. And in this iteration of this timeline of events, I get a nicer sandwich.
But I don't think if we've got the same consciousness, I would have ever turned up looking like that today. Booyah. Got your ass.
This is why I'm a determinist, because I think I was always going to wear this outfit. And anyway, this has
I
all
was
gotten
gonna
too
say
deep.
that.
And the Patreons, in their vast swathes of numbers, wanted us to finish on one final question.
Did they? They've
Yeah.
put in a bunch of questions though.
What? Yeah, I read through all of them, and I've got a lot of
What,
some
this-
of that stuff is from Patreon.
this
from that-
thread?
yeah, from that thread.
Okay.
And so the one that came up the most was, what do you think about edits?
The edits.
Yeah, just in general, edits in general.
Can I answer for you? Bro loves them. He reposts them all. He makes them himself.
I get clowned on this for I've reposted like 2 out of my last 30 videos have been edits, and one was that night out when we were dancing to Toxic Britney Spears, and someone overlaid it perfectly, and it was such a funny edit. And you and George are laughing at me doing my little twirl,
No, we're laughing.
and I go that and tap George
Yeah,
on
no,
the
that's
nose.
funny. That is funny.
It was such a funny edit because it just made me feel happy and good, and I was like, these are the good times,
It just makes us laugh when you post an edit of yourself and it's like, it starts with you like lifting weights. And then it's like,
I don't do that. I don't do just. I've never reposted a pure thirst trap.
Oh, that's funny because I ran a experiment where I made an edit of just all your topless moments and you reposted it. And I go under the name of Arthur Edit V2.
Nice.
Seen it?
Yes, great account.
No, I don't mind the edits.
No, I think they're great. I think they always just cheer me up.
Any to be honest, any spread of us is good. Any spread of our virus onto TikToks is great.
That's true. There should be more edits where there's like a lot more of us speaking type of the music. I think that's it. That's I think how you
clip.
grow big numbers.
That's actually a clip.
The
not an
people
edit.
that do the edits where like there's like it's an interesting topic and there's a music and edit and stuff, it obviously tends to break there, because then that's not just people who are like fans of edits and us. It's like anyone could just be like, oh, that's an interesting thing and it's an edit, like slushy newsy stuff. But there are so many good
Yeah.
editors out there that do clips of us. It's very cool.
Yeah.
And edits. But there was one meta one that was like where someone's like, oh, whenever I experience self-doubt, I try and be like Arthur, who reposts edits of himself or something.
Can they see that then? They can see you reposting all the edits.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I repost batch core, but that's different.
But that's kind of what I do. Yeah, batch core, that's the type of edits that I mean. I think they're the ones that can
They're my
go,
favourite.
They can go super viral.
Yeah, exactly. They're my
because
favourite.
they're like, it's like
Compilation
sound.
of your funny moments.
Yeah,
Like,
compilation
yeah.
of funny moments. And when they're of batch, we repost the Batch and Arthur podcast ones on our personals.
We do, yeah. All
But
over
no.
the place.
I also think it's just so sweet that someone's going like, I enjoy watching these boys' content so much that I'm just going to get a bunch of photos of them like smiling and hugging and high-fiving, and
They spend time on it, a lot of
it's
time.
time consuming. I just think it's really sweet and wholesome.
Yeah, it's wholesome. It is wholesome. Until
Yeah.
you get one where it's like, Daddy, boom. It's just pure nipple. It's like, damn.
Yeah, we've moved
Feel
from
about that.
philosophy and science into brain rot. So
Yeah, can I just say though, what you've conveniently skipped over,
yeah,
the top reply to that Patreon message.
Mm.
Where is the soundboard for batch?
no one has ever said that.
We're not looking at the same thing, are we?
Oh my goodness, someone actually did 2 hours ago. I didn't check it 2 hours ago, to be fair.
There's so many replies on here.
Yeah, I scrolled through most of them.
And all of them say, where's Batch's soundboard? Every single one of them
Tell you
says,
what, the top 2 things were just everyone asking edits, and the other one just being like, when's the live show coming?
Soon.
So soon. We'll do a London one, and if that's good, then we'll do a tour. Because loads of people are like, well, I don't live in London, so I'm not going to come to that. So we'll do a little teaser live, a teaser live show in London, and if you guys love that and come along and say hi, then we will do a, I don't know.
And if you don't, no one turns up, we won't do it all.
Oh yeah, and one final thing, just for the Red Bull thing coming up, it doesn't seem like there's going to be an official meet and greet, so we'll just do one. Yeah,
I said to the people in the Patreon that we'll organise a meet and greet.
Yeah, and that's not Patreon only. Like if people want to, if you've bought your tickets to the Red Bull event, we're going to be there. We'll do our best to come have a meeting point.
We'll try and organise. Yeah, we'll say like, oh, meet us here, and we'll be here for a bit.
That is assuming that we survive the race.
Yeah, and if we're allowed as well. I don't know if we'll be allowed. We'll figure a way. We'll let you know. Just keep an eye out. We'll let you guys know.
Yeah,
basically. Also, trying to still get tickets to give away to people, but Red Bull, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll keep you guys updated on socials anyway. So make sure you're following @Batch and Arthur on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter.
We have a Twitter.
We do have a Twitter.
Nice.
Yeah, check out the Patreon for some bonus content. If you want to get a bit more involved in the discussions. But yeah, everything you guys are doing, all the views, likes, comments, very, very much appreciate it. And for the 30,000 subscribers. So
yeah,
thank you very much.
30K special.
Come on. This is technically it.
That's what I was saying. This is the 30K special.
Nice. Well,
where are you?
Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
See you later.
Oh.